Hi, welcome to this EpigraphHub tutorial. EpigraphHub is a data integration platform. In this tutorial, I want to show you how to log in and start using EpigraphHub if you've never done that before. EpigraphHub is still in alpha stage, so for now, if you want to have an account, you have to get in contact with our team to arrange an account creation. So let's log in with the user guest. So we can log in here with the user guest, password guest, which is an account that anyone can use, but it's quite limited. In the guest account, you can look at dashboards and charts that have been created, but not much more than that. So for instance, let's look at this dashboard. This is what a EpigraphHub dashboard looks like. So here you have daily COVID cases in Switzerland. Here you can select which cantons you want to look at, and the graph will be updated to show that. You can change also the time grain of the time series. Now it's on week, but I could put, for instance, per day, and it will get a little bit more noisy. So you can see here, you can browse the dates, you can zoom in, you can turn on and off certain series, and every time that this data is updated, these graphs in the dashboard will also be updated, including the last date. At the end of this dashboard, you also see a map with the cumulative number of hospitalizations by canton, and also here only the cantons that have been selected actually appear in this visualization. But there's not much more that can be done using a guest account. So let's log out, and I'll log in as a full account. I'll use my admin account for that. And once we get in as admin account, there's a lot more that I can do. So let's look at the menus that are available to us once we get into EpigraphHub. You have the home, which is this screen right here. You have the dashboard screen, which is just a list with the dashboards. You have the charts, in which you can find all the charts that have been created by all the users that are in the platform. So in the data screen, you can find a list of databases, data sets, saved queries, and query history. Let's go through one at a time to see what they mean, what they look like. The databases is a quite short list at the moment, but it's here just to remind us what databases are connected to the systems. Typically, the user does not need to interact with that, and most users won't have access to this screen. As you can see here, we can add new databases. There are no limitations to how many databases are connected to an EpigraphHub instance at any time. You can see here that we have PostgreSQL database, you have Google Sheets database, which is not a database, but still it's a source of data, a SQLite database. So, and there's a number of other databases that are supported by EpigraphHub. The data sets list is a little bit different. What is a data set? A data set is a sort of a proxy to a database table. So when you have a database such as these ones, you have the type of the data set. If it's a physical, it corresponds directly to a physical table in the database, or if it's virtual, it's just a view on a database, and which database that corresponds to, in which schema it's in, when it was modified, by whom, etc., etc., etc. And we can create a new data set quite easily by selecting one of the databases, one of the schemas, and one of the tables that we might want. And then we just click add. Not doing this now. And we have a new data set. Data sets are quite useful because if you click on one of these data sets, you are taken to the chart creation interface, which is a subject for another tutorial. So let's look at the charts page. The charts page lets us look at a visualization that has already been created. For instance, this country map here of Switzerland. So this country map has been built from the hospitalization table of our database, and which has a number of columns, and we select that we want to look at this map of Switzerland divided by the canton, which are identified by their two-letter ISO code, which is like this. And then that's all that we need. And we want the colors to be the sum of the hospitalizations of this table, some of the lines of the table corresponding to each of the cantons. So it's quite easy. And then once we've done that, we can run the query and we will generate that. Each chart can then be customized in many ways. We can download the data that generated either on CSV or JSON formats. We can select, get an HTML code to embed this chart into a web page, an external web page. We can get a link to share by email with someone. You can also directly share it by email with someone. And we can save this. If you created a new chart, just created a new chart, this chart was already created, but you have just created a new chart, give it a name, and save it, either as a standalone chart or as part of a dashboard. So that's it for the chart creation for now. There will be a full tutorial on that. So with that, we come back to the home page, and I'll say goodbye to you for now and until the next tutorial.